Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is Supercoach Challenges, and today we'll be doing the round 14 review. And as you can see, it wasn't actually a too bad round for our ranking anyway. The score a little bit below average, I would say. As you can see, it's top 29%, which means that there were a lot more teams that did worse than this. I was actually quite surprised that we went up in so many. We went up 4,600 ranks this week, which was pretty surprising. Considering where I kind of thought all the other teams were at. But good to see we're closing in on that 100k slate, and I actually think this is the week where we'll probably get our biggest jump. A lot of teams are struggling to fill players. I think we will easily have enough players to field the team, and even 19 to the 20. So it should be good to see if we can get a nice big score on the board and really push up into the top 100,000. And, you know, at this time of year, a lot of people are quitting. A lot of people are just letting their teams go. So that's where these ranks are become easier to climb. So going into the team and having a look. So you can see we took the VC on Taranto. Now, funnily enough, if he didn't kick that late goal in that game, he was probably going to score, a 110, or 115. And I probably would have skipped that and then gone on the bomb. But you know, that's how luck goes. We skipped Neil this week and he also scored well. I probably would have taken Dunkley if we had him, but you can't have everyone in your team. And the way this team's built, it was kind of hard to time him. I think I did. I had actually pegged back in round 10 or 9 when Brisbane started to have a bit of an easy run. I kind of did peg Dunks, but I think at the time he was a little bit underwhelming. But then he went off, started to really fit into the team, and he just kept scoring so well. So a bit of a miss. He's really expensive now, but could be a possibility to get him. We'll have a look at what the team looks like. So anyway, we had some players bounce back in Lloyd and Sheasel, which was nice. A lot of people traded out Sheasel, and it was good to see him behind the ball getting kickouts again. Lloyd was moved back into that back flank role and got a nice score as well. Otherwise, I mean, the midfield really showed out. It was really nice to have Bont, Taranto, Liver, Neil all score nice hundreds. Even Rosie and Brayshaw had another 107. Goulden was back to a bit of his best. And the only real bad score in that midfield was Steele, who has now become an issue. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep him or trade him. We'll see what happens. But moving forward as well, it's like... So it does look like that Darcy to Briggs at the time would have been the right decision. Now, I would have been I'd have one less trade, but I'd have a lot more cash. And it looks like a lot of people are moving towards playing as their R2, if not R1, because he could probably beat Marshall. So I've seen a few people trading down from English to get some more cash in. Whether that's going to work out, here to be seen, but he played really well. So, it's not the worst play, especially if you need money. And then, probably the forward line's what let us down the most. I mean, I personally think if you follow my Twitter that I thought Humphrey was pretty lucky to get this 74. I think the scaling on the goal was pretty generous considering they were getting absolutely belted. And I think he had like an 11 disposal game at 66% efficiency. I know he gets in there, he gets a hard ball and stuff. I just thought it was a little bit overs considering, but I'm happy with it in this team. And Ford, Fife, and Horn Francis were pretty forgettable. I'm thinking that Fife is definitely going to have to be a bit of a loopholing mid F6. It is a little bit hard with our trades, but I think we'll be able to work this out so we can kind of sort it out. So we have those type of players, maybe him and Keys or even him and Windhager. I was really impressed with Windhager. I thought that he did start slow, and I thought that the previous week his score didn't really reflect how much of the ball he got. Like I sometimes think when you watch a player, if they're getting the ball a lot, but the disposal was bad, sometimes it's just, you know, for him especially, it was his first game back, and sometimes there's a bit of rust to be pulled off, and then they can go and score big. And Windhager was getting, you know, a lot of ball in that first game. Didn't use it well and only got a 47, went down a little bit. And I thought, oh, well, this is someone good that we can get in. And he's being named in the followers, which you love. And if Steele is dealing with an injury and ends up out, you could It remains to be seen that when Hunter Clark comes back in, he could still keep a role. And I'm not sure about Hunter Clark. Jack Steele. Or even if Hunter Clark will actually keep their spot over Windhager, because he's played quite well. I thought he did really well in their midfield. But hopefully he just keeps playing well and he just makes it really hard for them to drop him. So with the 3-2-1 this week, we're going 3 on. Well, this is a bit probably, they're not negative but positive. I'll go Neil. I think that the 144 bounce back was good for the team, and it was good to see him like getting a big score. I think we were all a bit worried that he was kind of not what he used to be, but a nice 144 is good to see. Or 169 for Bont, so that's going to get him the number 2. I think I'm a little bit salty towards Bont for going so big in that last game. I think that if they played like second, everyone would have VC'd him and we would all have taken a huge score. But he played last. There were nice VC prospects that came up in Dunkley and Bont, Neil and even Taranto. Like, you're taking a 128. Anything over really 120 to 25 you should take, because the points gain from there is pretty negligible and it's just not worth the risk. So, a 2 vote for Bont. And I want to give the 1 to Windhager. Now, I know it's not a really high score, but the price to points is really nice. And just for him to come in and actually play really well was good. And it was good to see. And I guess this points out another issue with one of the other people we brought in. So 5, the 47. Yeah, it wasn't great. Fremantle just kind of got belted though. And I think 5 actually looked decent when he was in the midfield. When he was out forward, they couldn't get the ball down there. And, the GWS actually couldn't put in quite a bit of work into 5, which allowed other players to get open, like Sam Sturr, who had quite a few shots at goal. And I think it really made it hard for him. I mean, this score is boosted by the fact he took a mega mark, and he also got a 50-meter penalty from that mark, which got him an easy goal. But I guess what I tweeted out at the time was it would be nice to see them play Fife in that role that they played Monday for so long. Just put him in the midfield. Just tell him, look, pressure. You don't necessarily have to get the clearances. We have Brayshaw and Sarong for the clearances, and let's just you be the outside guy, get that ball, deliver it in for us, and just be a bit of a leader in there, because I think at times they were lost when they were getting absolutely belted. I don't think it helps that Sarong's probably carrying an injury. But yeah, they just didn't look up to it against that GWS side. But that's the way the game goes, and hindsight's everything. We got sucked in a little bit by the 90, but to be honest, I'd probably needed the money. I think a lot of people need the money, and I don't think it's the worst trade, especially if you can play him as a loop, because the loop might end up being better than just having straight F6 M8. I mean, like, for example, if you have 5 and someone has steal, well, at the moment it's a bit negligible, the scoring, and at least with 5 you got him for what, probably 300k less than what you paid for steal. So you take some benefits out of that. So looking at the team, let's give it an. What do we do first? Let's not optimize it. Let's get our full team on the field. So this is what, if we were playing in a normal round, we'd look at. And then we'll work out what we're going to do regarding by. So, they can't even fit on. Okay. This goes here. Add on. Golden in here. I think looking at the team, this is what I kind of do. So we got 3 to upgrade, possibly Darcy has to go on. So Darcy should be back this week, which is good because he's kind of a pod now, which is nice because he could, people probably overlook a little bit the fact that he's had such a rest. He could actually go really, really big. 196 break even. I'm even possibly thinking about in my team, because I went the Gorn downgrade from here, which was totally the wrong option, especially when we're missing DPP. But I'm kind of thinking about the fact that I might be out of sideways this at some point. So that's something to keep an eye on. But if we look at the team here, we have got full defense, full mid, 2 in the rucks, and then we have a bit of a mess in the forward line. So what we need is 5 upgrades from 6 trades. Well, not 5 upgrades because I'm pretty happy with like probably looping one of Keys, Fife, and Windhager into that F6 role. Even Humphrey to a degree. Like I'd like to keep Humphrey. I'd probably have rather maybe just keep Humphrey and get rid of Fife now, but that's I guess that's past now. So right, we have a decision to make. So let's optimize this and let's have a look at what we've got to work with. So let's count through what we got this week. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Constable's injured, for those who don't know. That's why he had low disposal count. He got injured in the VFL, which pretty much makes him totally dead, probably, unless it was just a minor injury. I don't know the degree of the injury. I just know he was injured. So yeah, probably can forget about him being covered this week, which makes it hard for some people because they might have been hoping maybe Constable had a glimpse, but it doesn't look like it now. And if we go Laird, Neil, Brayshaw, Gordon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We won't count Chester for now. 13, 14, 15, 16. So yeah, 16. So 16, maybe 17 with Chester playing, which is not too bad because we have like 4 trades which we can use. And we're probably going to do that here. So I kind of like to wait, right? And just kind of say this last defensive spot and bring in Sicily, right? But he's just not going to time well. And I just can't see it happening. So I'm thinking the guys that have to go out. I think Chincotta, like sadly, this is just how it has to go. I mean, Horn Francis, he can go. Thanks for losing all your money like so many others did as I was about to trade them out. That is good stuff from you. Humphrey can come here now. Now I want to get the right cover, obviously. And now I have to think, what are we going to do with this? We are going to go. If we go Humphrey and we go, let's say we go Ford. Now I think this is what I was kind of looking at before. So we've got 2.3 mil. So that's plenty to get 4 players, I think. It's near on 600k a player. And one of them is going to cost nowhere near that. So Darcy Cameron is going to be our ruck forward. He's going to be the one that covers for Madden, which is very nice. And next, so what do we want? I'm thinking we want to get as many mid forwards out here. So we got Laird, Neil, Goulden can come into here as well. I'll just sub you up and then Goulden can come into here. Which leaves us with 2 mids and a defender, and I could technically do this and go 3 mids left, which is quite nice. And what I'm thinking we could possibly do is look at something like this. So we can do this. We can literally go Dunkley, Oliver, and then we've got 575k for the last player, which we could make, Dawson. We could bring in Dawson. And that gets us our final defender mid. It leaves us with 2,300 under the bank, 2 trades. And then the team would look like this once done. So where are we? Dawson would come up to here. Cameron's fine. Goulden would go on. Have Dunkley come down here. And then Bont, Libber. And then we could somehow work this out. We could get Cheezel. And I think I know how we can do it. So what we can do, but this is going to leave us like no cover. But what we could do is we could undo this. And let's... this is annoying because what I want to do is a little bit of trade magic. Now, the problem is we're carrying Jack still with this method. So we could just do this. So we could put Sheasel on. And then we could play Day here. And then we can pull Drury up to... Oh no, we could leave Drury here. And we can literally just loop Keys with Windhager or Keys with Fife, depending on who's actually getting a game. And we'd still have 2 trades left, which we could possibly then use later on to maybe like downgrade someone and get steal up. Potentially we could look at Callum Mills. I potentially could think about this week, to be honest. It would actually be in a week even. I don't know what Steel's break even is looking like, 132. So it's not horrible. Like it's not like in the 170s. I'm pretty sure Mills is like 167. He could do that against West Coast, but we'd hope he loses some more money because he could go to what 440. Like if he goes down, he'd be 431, 432, let's say, and he would also be 432. So it's pretty much a like sideways at that point, which wouldn't be too bad. And this would be the finished side. And to be quite fair, it's not the worst, if I'm honest. Like I could have seen this team being a lot worse. We still have 2 trades left. The only thing I'm worried about is like I like Dunkley. I love Dunkley, but the 698 is a lot to pay for Dunkley. I don't know if we want to leave a little bit cash here and kind of move some other guys around. I'm just unsure at this point. Now, I'm unsure if I could wait a week, right? And I think that like Dawson could be waited. Clary could definitely be waited on a week. Dunkley, he's going the 7s, isn't he? 116. So he could go into the 7s, but I could just wait and see what happens. Like, there's a possibility with that. And instead, I could go like a Himmelberg and like save some cash. Like this could become. So say we like go with 5, and then we just go. Oh no, we don't even do that. We just go Himmelberg here. Right, and we save 300k, and I'm kind of tempted to do that because what this would then open up, I think quite a few people are going to play Himmelberg in the end, and I can actually wait a week to do this. I mean, let's have a look at who we're training. Are we training anyone that's playing this week? So I could wait on Humphrey maybe, and yeah, go him to Himmelberg. And that would mean that we would have, I think this doesn't look too bad, but potentially in the end, I could use this 300k to maybe get someone else up and have another loop. So I could potentially put Himmelberg up to here and loop him with Sheasel every week, and then possibly look at using the Windhager and he's here and bring in another forward premium. Like 300k on top of, let's say 5 is 600. Like 600k, 5 goes down to here. We have Himmelberg. Sorry, what would it be? We trade 5. Tessa comes to here. And Himmelberg comes up here, and then it's like whoever we want here pretty much. Or even, yeah, that would be what we do. And then it's just like whatever we want here. And like that could be like a Butters, honestly. And like Butters, 136 break even. If he has another bad game, I think he's injured though. I did hear he was a bit sore. But like that could mean that like Butters goes down to here instead, and then we're like looping Keys with Windhager, we're looping Sheasel with Himmelberg, and then 5 could even be looped if we need. Not 5, sorry. We're gonna be training out 5. But you know, like we could do something. We could loop Chess if we needed. I think the only it doesn't really leave us short because we're gonna have 2 options for covering someone say they were injured as well. Because Chester will come down here, which means we could easily change Dawson out. So we're like pretty well covered across all lines, especially with Cameron being able to cover our rocks. So I kind of like this idea a little bit more. The same problem lies, and maybe that's what we could do. We could loop Steele somehow. Um, Hopefully he just works through the injury. That's what we're hoping to see. But at this point, it's not looking great. So what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna update this and trade you. So this is like not even that much for sideways then. And what we'll be looking at is these three trades. So Dawson, Chincotta, Oliver Ford, Cameron, Horn Francis. Now, there was news coming out today that Oliver was having a hand complaint, which kind of makes me a little bit hesitant to go to him straight away. Like I could wait on Clary around. Like I don't mind waiting on Clary around. The problem is that we don't have the trades to necessarily like bring someone else in. Like if we bring Himmelberg and we're just missing a player, so it's just not like much point. But I could see like Clary just having another bad game, and he's got a like for people at home 139 break even against Geelong at GMS. Like it's a hard one. So the other question is, do I just skip Oliver altogether and just go Petrarca? I don't know, but I think there's a good plan here, which I like. Like I don't like Humphrey as a long-term option to the end of the year, and the reason being is if Toot does get back, and I think Gold Coast will be on that precipice of kind of fighting for a spot in the 8, which they'll want. They want to prove that Dewey's a good coach. And last week's loss really hurt them. They should have beat Carlton. But yeah, I just think that Humphrey could then be. He's already not seeing much mid-time, and he could just continue to go down. So just be careful of Bailey. You can keep him this week, but I think that next week you really need to evaluate it based on the next game. You need to watch this Gold Coast game against Hawthorn because he should score well here, and if he doesn't, then I think it might be time to move him on. As for VC captain options, so I think that like if you do have Clary, you could just go the VC on him. I wouldn't touch anyone from Geelong. Gawn could actually be an interesting VC if you have him. Like he could be an interesting VC against the Geelong Ruts because they had their Rut come back last week, but then he was laid out. Was it Stanley? So yeah, that's an option. Take you to Brisbane. I mean Neil, and I'll probably do that. I'll probably go Neil or Dunkley. Great choices here. Sydney West Coast. If you were ballsy, you could go like a Warner or someone like that, but I don't know. And then captain's options here. So Darcy Parish is back for Essendon, so that might affect Merritt. That's how Optus, so I don't necessarily like that captaincy option. I think that Brayshaw would actually be quite decent against Essendon because I don't think they'd necessarily put too much of a tag on him because they got no Setterfield, so they'll probably be playing pretty free. But otherwise, lead against Collingwood's actually quite good. I think he had quite a big score. He had 100, but he was playing injured, and like the scores before that were very nice. I think Dawson, went 150, but like it's like polar opposites here. And I think that Collingwood will want to put more time into Dawson than they will Laird this time because I think Dawson's just going to be the guy that's delivering everything into the 50. But Dawson has been down, so it's about time he did something. So that'd be interesting to see. And Gold Coast versus Hawthorn, if you were real ballsy, Matt Rao. If he had Sicily, would be good. But I'm not sure he's going to get off. At this point in time, there is nothing coming out of that tribunal. It's before the case has been done. So with that, I guess that's all for the review this week. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a like, give us a subscribe. That'd be great. Follow along for the rest of the year because I think we'll be starting to climb up some ranks now because this is near on a full team. If we optimize, see what we got here. Wits is actually here. I don't know why this is strange. It's BC Wits, even though Cameron's playing earlier. So, anyway, we will be going. I think Neil into lead is going to be the way I go here. We got a nice healthy. I think a 1846 is pretty decent. And yeah, so that's it. Oh, this is without Oliver on. He should be playing. So, yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy this video and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.